Hi guys, good day, it's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is all about experiments, outcomes, sample space, and then events. So without further ado, let's do this topic. Now this is very important class, especially class if you're dealing with probability, because your next topic class will be probability. So before we proceed to our next topic, we need to understand more what are experiments, outcomes, sample space, and then events. So later on class, we will have example in rolling a die, and then we will have example in tossing a coin, and then we will have another example, what if we roll a die at the same time we toss a coin? We do it together. So do not be worried class, because I will give you plenty of examples for you to really understand this one. So before we proceed to our example, we need to define first the following terms. So let's start with experiments. Now, experiments are activities that produce an outcome, but their results cannot be precisely predicted. So, example, we have flipping a coin and then rolling a die. Now, we do have many examples, class, for experiments. Another example, drawing marbles from a bag, drawing a card from a standard deck, flipping 2 coins, rolling 2 dice. Many examples, class, for the experiment, but most commonly used for experiments, we have flipping a coin and then rolling a die. Now, outcomes are the possible results of an experiment. Once again, class, do not be worried with this one because we will be explaining this one with regards to our examples. And then sample space is the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. Is often denoted by the symbol S. And then events are one or more of the outcomes of an experiment. An event is a subset of the sample space. So if you recall this word subset, it means part of. So therefore, an event is a part of the sample space. So let's have an example class for you to really understand this one. Let's start this with our first example. Now let's start with our first example class. Let's have rolling a die. So therefore, class, rolling a die is what we call experiment. So our experiment, we have rolling a die. Now when you roll a die, class, what are the possible results? Of course, when you roll this die, you can have 2, okay, you can have 4, you can have 3, you can have 5, you can have 6, or 1. So once again, class, the possible results are what we call the outcomes. So therefore, our answer for outcomes, we can have 1, okay, once again, when you roll this one, you can have 1, you can have 4, you can have 2, you can have 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the possible results and we call this one outcomes. I hope it's clear for you, class, with regards to outcomes. When you roll this die, the possible results are what we call outcomes. So we have 4, so 4 is an outcome. Another example, 5, we have 5, therefore 5 is an outcome. Possible results are what we call outcomes. Now, sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. So therefore, this one right here is what we call sample space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the set of all possible outcomes. We call that one sample space. So to make it short, just simply copy this one. So sample space denoted by letter S, capital S. So there will be S equals, you put braces, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. That's it, class. That's it for our sample space. Simply copy the outcomes because sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. Now let's talk about events, class. An event is a subset of the sample space. So therefore, event is just a part of the sample space. Let's have an example, class. If I will say rolling an even number. So this is our event, rolling an even number. Now, what are those even numbers, class, with regards to the sample space? Of course, we know that even numbers, these are numbers divisible by 2. So, therefore, our answer, we have 2, we have 4, we have 6. So, therefore, class, our answer for event, we have event is equal to the set of even numbers in this given sample space. So, therefore, our answer for event, that would be 2, 4, and then 6. We call this one 2, 4, 6 event, class, because 2, 4, 6 is just part of the sample space. Once again, class, 2, 4, 6 is just part of the sample space, and we call this one event. So our event, rolling an even number, therefore our answer, that would be 2, 4, and then 6. Let's have another example, class. What if the event is rolling? Rolling an odd number. What are those odd numbers, class? Could you try this one? Rolling an odd number. What would be your answer, class, for the event? Of course, event is equal to, what are those odd numbers, class? That's correct. Odd numbers, that would be 1. Numbers that are not divisible by 2. We have 1, 3, and then 5. So therefore, our answer for event, we have 1, 3, and then 5. So once again, class, our event, we can have one or more. One or more. Another example, class, if I will say rolling a number 3. Okay, once again, if I will say rolling a number 3. So what would be your answer, class? Rolling a number 3. Of course, your answer, class, is just 3 because you want number 3. So therefore, our event is equal to 3. Simple as that, class. Okay, simple as that, class, with regards to event. I hope it's clear for you, class, with regards to event. It's a subset of the sample space. It's just a part of the sample space. Alright, now what if you try this one, class? You try this one, class. Our event is rolling a number greater than 4. Okay, rolling a number greater than 4. What would be your answer, class? Okay, you put your answer in the comment section down below with regards to our example number 1. Our event, rolling a number greater than 4. So what would be your answer, class? You put your answer in the comment section down below. So let's proceed now to our second example, tossing a coin. So let's have an example, class, tossing a coin. Alright, so let's work on to our second example, class. How about tossing a coin? So our experiment, that would be tossing a coin. Now, when you toss this coin, class, what are the possible results? When we toss this coin, the possible results, it could be tail or it could be head, right? Once again, class, there are only 2 results when you toss this coin. Possible results, it could be tail or it could be head. So therefore, those results, class, are what we call the outcomes. So the answer for our outcomes, that would be head and then that would be tail. So once again, class, I hope you're not confused, class, with regards to the outcomes. Outcomes, those are possible results. Now, when you toss this coin, the results, it could be tail or it could be head. So therefore, our outcomes, that would be only head and then tail. Now, sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. Now, our outcomes, we have head and tail, so we just simply copy this one. So therefore, sample space denoted by capital S equals brace, that would be head. So I will just put H for head and then T for tail. That's it, class, for our sample space. Now, let's talk about events. Once again, class, events are one or more of the outcomes of an experiment. Now, what if the event, class, is getting heads? So, the event, class, is getting heads. What would be your answer, class? Now, based on the given sample space, once again, class, event is a subset of the sample space. Now, based on the given sample space, we only have H and then tail. Once again, we only have one head and then one tail. Now, getting heads, that's only one head. So, therefore, we just simply copy H. So, therefore, our event, that would be simply copy H. That's it, class. That's the answer, class, in getting heads because you only have one H on the sample space. Now, what if the event is getting tails? What would be your answer, class? Getting tails. What would be your answer, class? That's correct. That would be event is equal to, that's only T. Because based on the given sample space, we only have one T. And then that would be tails. So that's the thing there, class, with regards to event. Event is a subset of the sample space. Event is just part of the sample space. So getting heads, there's only one H, so simply copy H. And then getting tails, we only have one T on the sample space, so therefore simply copy T. So that's the thing there, class, with regards to event. So let's proceed now to our third example. Tossing a coin and then rolling a die. We do it together, class. So what are the possible outcomes? Let's have example number 3, class. Now let's proceed to our third example, class. Then later on, class, we will have our activity. Now for our third example, class, we toss a coin and then we roll a die at the same time. We do it together, class. What are the possible results? So once again, our experiment, that would be tossing a coin and then rolling a die at the same time. At the same time. Now, what are the possible results, class, when you toss a coin and then you roll a die at the same time. So what are the outcomes? Possible results. So let's try that one. We toss a coin and then we roll a die at the same time. So we have tail and then number 6. Alright, so we toss a coin, we roll a die at the same time. We have head and then number 3. So let's try it again. We toss a coin, we have tail and then number 3. So therefore, class, it is possible results when you toss a coin and then you roll a die, you can have number 1 and then head, right? This is possible, class. We can have number 1 and then head. Now, this is also possible that we can have number 1 and then tail. Okay, once again, class, this is possible that when you toss a coin and then you roll a die, we can have number 1 and then head. We can also have number 1 and then tail. So this is possible, class. Now you can also have number 2 and then head. So this is possible that you can have number 2 and then head. And this is also possible that you can have number 2 and then tail, right? You can have number 2 and then tail. So when you roll this die, this is possible that you can have number 2. It lands with number 2 and then head. It lands with number 2 and then tail. Now you can actually calculate, class, the number of possible results by just getting the number of outcomes, class, when you toss a coin. If you do it individually, class, for a coin, the number of possible outcomes, that's only 2, right? Because if you do it individually, class, for a coin, the number of possible results when you toss a coin, that's only 2, right? The number of outcomes, that's only 2. Because when you toss a coin, the results, it could be head and tail. There's no other results, class. That's only head and tail. So therefore, the number of outcomes, that's only 2. 1 and then 2. So for a coin, there will be 2 outcomes. Now for a die, class, so that we can calculate, class, the number of results. For a die, class, the number of outcomes when you roll this die, there would be 6, right? Because when you roll this die, the possible results, that could be 1, that could be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So therefore, the number of outcomes when you roll this die, there would be 6. Now, if you do it together, class, just simply multiply the number of outcomes. 2 times 6. Once again, class, 2 times 6. The possible results, there would be 12 results. So therefore, class, the number of outcomes, there would be 12. So let's try that one, class. Let's check if we have 12 possible outcomes. Alright, so once again, class, for a coin, there would be 2 number of outcomes. There would be head and tail. So the number of outcomes, there would be 2. And then for a die, the number of outcomes, there would be 6. Because for a die, there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simply multiply this one. 2 times 6, there would be 12. So therefore, if we toss a coin and then we roll a die at the same time, we simply multiply the number of outcomes. 2 times 6, there would be 12. So let's check, class, if we have 12 number of outcomes when we toss a coin and then we roll a die. So we have 1 each, 1 and then head, 1 and then tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can also have number 3 and then head. We can also have number 3 and then tail, right? This is possible, class. When you toss a coin, you can have head and then number 3. So this is possible. Number 3. And you can also have number 3 and then tail. So this is possible. And then you can have number 4 and then head. You can also have number 4 and then tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can also have number 5 and then head. We can also have number 5 and then tail. We don't have enough space, so let me just write it again, class. Since we don't have enough space, so once again, class, we can have number 1 and then head. We can also have number 1 and then tail. So first result, we can have number 1 and then head, 1 and then tail. We can also have number 2 and then head, 2 and then tail. We can also have 3 and then head. We can also have 3 and then tail. 4 and then head, and then 4 and then tail. So we can have 5 head, and then 5 and then tail. And then last results, we can have 6 and then head, and then 6 and then tail. So let's count, class, the number of results. So once again, as I told you earlier, we have 12 possible outcomes. So let's count the number of outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's correct. Simply multiply the number of outcomes for a coin and then the number of outcomes for a die. And that would be 12. Now for the sample space class, simply copy this one. So once again, sample space denoted by capital S. So simply copy this one. We have 1 and then H, 1 and then head, so 1 and then tail. So possible results, we have 2 and then head. We also have 2 and then tail. So we have 3 and then head. Once again, the sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. So simply copy this one class. So we have 3 head, number 3 and then head. We can also have number 3 and then tail. And then 4 and then head. We can also have 4 and then tail. 5 and then head. We can also have 5 and then tail. And then 6 head. We can also have 6 and then tail. So these are the sample space class. So I hope it's clear for you class with regards to sample space. Now let's talk about events class. Event is a subset of the sample space. So let's have an example class. If the event class getting an even number and then heads. Now what would be your answer class if the event is getting an even number and then heads? So once again class, event is just a subset of the sample space. So you look at the sample space class, you have an even number and then heads. So our answer, there would be set of all events getting an even number and then heads. So this one, getting an even number. So once again, we cannot include number 1 because 1 is not an even number. Once again, an even number, those are numbers divisible by 2. So 1 is not included. How about this one class? Can we include this one? 2 and then head? Yup. Getting an even number and then head. So therefore, we can include this one. So that would be 2 and then head. So that would be our first answer. How about this one class? Can we include this one? 2 and then tail? Nope, we cannot include this one. 2 is an even number, but this is tail. Once again class, our event getting an even number and then heads. Okay, you want heads class. Even number and then heads. So therefore, we cannot include this one. 2 is an even number, but this is tail. So 3 is not an even number. 3 is not an even number. How about this one class? 4 and then heads. Yup, we can include this one because 4 is an even number and then we have heads. So that would be 4 and then heads. Okay, another example. We have 4 and then tail. So we cannot include this one because this is tail. 4 is an even number, but this is tail. So 5, nope, 5 is not an even number. How about this one class? That's correct. We can include this one. 6 is an even number and then we have head. So that would be 6 and then head. That's it class. That's our first answer. So let's have another example class for the event. So what if I say, so event class getting a number 5 on a die and then tail on a coin. So getting a number 5 on a die and then tail on a coin. So what would be your answer class? Getting a number 5 on a die and then tail on a coin. So once again, you want 5 on a die and then tail on a coin. So check class the sample space. Do we have 5 on a die and then tail on a coin? Yup, we have number 5 on a die and then tail on a coin. So this will be our answer class. Because an event is just part of the sample space. So therefore, this will be our answer. So event, so that would be 5 and then, once again, getting number 5 and then tail on a coin. 5 and then tail. That's it class. That would be your answer class. Now, how about you try this one class and then you put your answer in the comment section down below. Our last event class getting tail and a number greater than 3. So once again class, getting tail and a number greater than 3. So how about you try this one class and then you put your answer in the comment section down below. Let me check class if you really understand our topic. So you check class the sample space. Once again, our event getting tail and a number greater than 3. So you check this one out class with regards to the sample space. Alright, so let's proceed now class to our activities. Alright, so let's proceed to our first activity. So once again, we're going to determine the experiment, outcome, sample space, and then event. So 2 coins are tossed and landed on a head and tail respectively. So once again, class, our experiment, there will be tossing 2 coins simultaneously or tossing 2 coins at the same time. So tossing 2 coins simultaneously or tossing 2 coins at the same time. Now, when you toss this coin, class, the outcome, so let's try that one. We can have head and then tail. So toss this coin, we can have head and then head. So therefore, possible outcomes, class, we can have head and then head. We can also have head and then tail. We can also have tail and then head. We can also have tail and then tail. So we do have 4 possible outcomes. Because if we do it individually, class, as I told you earlier, with our third example, if we do it individually, for a coin, that's 2 only outcomes, right? Possible outcomes for a coin, that's only head and then tail. So therefore, class, the number of possible outcomes for one coin, that's only 2. Because that's only head and tail. And for another coin, that's only 2 also. Because that's only head and then tail. If you multiply this one, the number of outcomes individually, 2 times 2, 2 times 2, that would be 4. So that's why, class, you have 4 possible outcomes for 2 coins. Because 2 times 2, that would be 4. So that's why we have head, 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 tail, tail, head, and then tail, tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so for the sample space, once again, the sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. So simply copy this one, denoted by capital S. So sample space, set of all possible outcomes. So we have H, H, head, 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 and then tail, tail, and then head, tail, and then tail. So these are the following sample space. So this will be our answer, class, for the sample space. Now for the event, class, once again, our event landed on a head and tail. So once again, class, our event landed on a head and tail. So that would be our event. So our event landed head and then tail. Landed on a head and then tail. So what would be your answer, class? Landed on head and then tail. Of course, your answer, class, this one, we have head and then tail. So we have head and then tail. We have tail and then head. So this will be our answer, class. So once again, our event answer, there would be head, tail. The other one, there would be tail and then head. So you want head, tail. Once again, class, you want head and then tail. So there will be head, tail, and then tail and then head. So that would be our answer, class, for example number 1. All set, class, with regards to example number 1. Alright, so let's proceed now to example number 2. Alright, so let's proceed to our second activity. A card is drawn randomly from a box containing cards numbered 1 to 10. How likely is it to get a number that is more than 6? So once again, our experiment, that would be drawing a card. So drawing a card randomly from a box. So from a box containing cards numbered 1 to 10. So that would be our experiment, class, drawing a card randomly from a box containing cards numbered 1 to 10. So what are the possible outcomes? Of course, the outcomes, you can have 1. Once again, class, we do have numbers 1 to 10. So therefore, the possible outcomes, when you draw a card, the answer, there will be 1, there will be 2, there will be 3, there will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So those are the possible outcomes. And then the sample space, once again, the sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. So we just simply copy this one, denoted by capital S. So S, so our answer, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Simple as that, class. Now, our event, class, getting a number that is more than 6. Once again, class, our event, getting a number more than 6. So, getting a number more than 6. more than 6. So what would be our answer, class? So what would be our answer, class, for the event? That's correct. Numbers more than 6. So therefore, our answer, we have 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So therefore, our event answer, so event, that would be 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So these numbers are more than 6. That's it, class. All set for example number 2. So let's proceed now to example number 3. Alright, so let's proceed to our third example. A spinner consists of 3 colors. There will be blue, red, and green. What is the chance that if the spinner spun, the result is green? So once again, class, our experiment, there will be spinning the spinner. Now for the spinner, class, we have 3 colors. There will be blue, red, and green. So therefore, when you spin the spinner, the results, it could be blue, red, or green. So therefore, our outcomes, there will be blue, red, and then green. Alright, and then for the sample space, simply copy all possible outcomes denoted by capital S. So therefore, sample space, there will be set of all possible outcomes. So simply copy this one. There will be blue, red, and then green. Simple as that, class, for the sample space. And then our event, class, once again, the result is green. So therefore, our event, there will be getting green color. So getting green. So therefore, our answer for event, now we only have one green on the sample space. We have blue, red, and green. So therefore, we will be selecting this one. So our event, that would be only green. So simply copy green. Alright, that's it, class. Simple as that, class. Now, if the teacher will ask you for the chances, once again, the chance that if the spinner spun, the result is green. So once again, class, you only have one green with regards to the sample space. Once again, class, you only have one green. So therefore, the chances or the chance, that would be 1 over 3. Now, question, sir, why is it 1 over 3? Because you only have one green, and then the total number of outcomes, there would be 3. So there would be 1 over 3. Simple as that, class. For the chances, the answer, class, is 1/3. That would be your next topic, class, and it will be probability. So once again, class, for the chances, there would be 1 over 3. Total number of outcomes, there would be 3. And then the chance, class, that you will get green, there's only one green. So that's why we have 1 over 3. Alright, this will be your next topic, class. That would be probability. Alright, so let's proceed now to example number 4. Last example, class. Example number 4. Alright, so we're down to the last example, class. Example number 4. A die is rolled once. It landed on a prime number. So once again, class, our experiment, that would be rolling a die. Rolling a die. So once again, class, when you roll this die, the possible outcomes, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6. So therefore, outcomes, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then for the sample space, simply copy the outcomes because sample space is the set of all possible outcomes. Denoted by capital S, so simply copy this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then for the event, class, landed on a prime number. So getting a prime number. Getting a prime number. Now, what are those prime number, class? Do you still remember, class, prime number? Once again, class, prime number. A prime number, those are numbers that has 2 factors. 1 and the number itself. Example, class, 3. 3 is a prime number because the factors of 3, that's only 1 and 3. 1 times 3, that would be 3. 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. So I hope you still remember, class, with regards to prime number. Another example, 7. 7 is a prime number because the factors of 7, that's only 1 and 7. 1 times 7, that is 7. 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. Now, if I will say 15, class, can we call this one prime number, 15? Nope, we cannot call that one prime number because 15 is a composite number. More than 2 factors. So I hope you remember this one, class, composite and prime number. 15, class, is a composite number because the factors of 15, that's more than 2 factors. There will be 1 times 15 and then 3 times 5. We have 4 factors. 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, this is not a prime number. This is a composite number. So once again, class, prime number, 2 factors. 1 and the number itself. 1 and 3, 1 and 7. And then remember this one, class, the smallest prime number is 2. Once again, class, always remember this one. The smallest prime number, that would be 2. So smallest prime number, that is 2. So once again, class, smallest prime number, that is 2. So getting a prime number with regards to our sample space. Alright, so let's check this one. 1 is not a prime number, class. Once again, class, the smallest prime number is 2. So therefore, we start with 2. So smallest prime number, that would be 2. So 2 is included. How about 3? Is 3 a prime number? Yup, 3 is a prime number because the factors of 3, that's only 1 and 3. 2 factors. Once again, that's prime number, 2 factors only. 1 and the number itself. Now, how about 4? Can we call this one prime number? No, 4 is not a prime number because the factors of 4, for 4, we have 1 times 4 and then 2 times 2. 4 factors, more than 2 factors. 1, 4. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, 4 factors, 4 is not a prime number. 4 is a composite number. More than 2 factors, we call that one composite number. So 4 is not included. How about 5? 5, can we call this one prime number? Yup, 5 is a prime number because the factors of 5, that's only 1 and 5. 1 times 5 is 5. No other factors for 5 class. That's only 1 and 5. So we include 5. And then how about 6 class? Can we call 6 a prime number? Nope, 6 is not a prime number because the factors of 6, we have 1 times 6 and then 2 times 3. More than 2 factors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 factors for 6. So therefore 6 is not included. So therefore our answer, that's only 2, 3, and then 5. So once again, class, the smallest prime number is 2. Always remember that one, class. The smallest prime number is 2. So therefore, we will not include 1. So our event, we have 2, we have 3, and then 5. All set, class. All set. For example, number 4. So once again, class, I hope you learned something new today. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, class, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.